Hello, I'm Michelle Burden along with Renee Rollins and Dr. Lisa Burkhart-Worley, and welcome to Pop Talk, the show where you never know what topics might pop up. We're taping today's show at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention Expo. We're here with Mike Lindell and Overcomers TV at their booth, and thanks to Mike and the Overcomers TV for sharing their booth with us today. Yes. Well, we have a great topic for you today, artificial intelligence. Who doesn't want to know about that topic? Does artificial intelligence scare you? Is it a distraction? Then keep listening because today's guest will share how we can use AI to our benefit. And Lisa has the introduction.
Thank you, Michelle. I just love this topic. I'm so excited to interview this expert today on artificial intelligence. His name is Dr. Drew Dickens. Dr. Dickens is an artificial intelligence expert and scholar, as I said, who has contributed to the intersection of technology, spirituality, and faith-based engagement. He holds a doctorate in liberal studies and theological anthropology from one of my alma maters, Southern Methodist University. Go Ponies! Sorry, we got to put that in.
Yeah.
Where he wrote a groundbreaking dissertation on the impact of generative AI on spiritual direction. That really spoke to me as well. The paper positioned him as a thought leader in this very emerging field. It's new and it does scare us. He has a new book coming out in April. It's called Whispers of the Spirit, a 40-day guide to intimate prayer. I can't wait to read that one. So welcome to Pop Talk, Dr. Dickens. This topic really grabbed me because AI is concerning. I mean, I know you wouldn't say that. You got to talk us out of that. It's getting to where you don't know what to trust on places like YouTube. I'm like, is that AI generated?
Yeah.
Or is that a real video? Is that a real person?
Right.
And I know we have to worry about that with movies now.
Sure.
People can create anything.
Right.
So what are some ways that we can overcome our fear of AI?
And what an honor. Thanks for having me today.
Sure.
With just a bunch of ordinary girls sitting up here. This is great.
Thank you. You can be an honorary Pearl Girl today.
Can I?
Yes.
You can.
Wow. Thank you. I can go home now. That's fantastic. You know what? I can stop it with just a question of why do we need to fear? It says 360, I think, times in Scripture to do not fear.
So, I forgot about that one.
So, bottom line is we just don't need to fear this. But I understand it's frightening because it's come on so quickly. It hasn't, but it feels like it's come on so quickly. I was interviewing someone this morning who's a teacher. I said, it's been around for a long time, but nobody noticed until kids in junior high started using it to write term papers, right? But here it is, and we don't know what to do with it, and there's so many dystopian kind of views of what it could lead to. And frankly, I think we need to be concerned about some of those things. But it's also an incredibly exciting time. So one of the things I tell people, first off, don't be afraid. And secondly, try it. Start getting in and putting your toe in the water and start exploring it, asking it some questions, getting some feedback, trying different things with it, and coming up with your own AI policy of how far is too far. I will use it for this, but not for this.
Right.
I think we all need to establish that.
I was going to say Dr. Michelle, she didn't say her name, Dr. Michelle Bird. She and I just finished our Doctor of Ministry, and that's a no-no. You cannot use AI to write papers.
Right.
So those are the places that you should not use it. I never did because I first of all we would have creative thought.
Wait, that's wrong? Is that what you said?
No, it's like,
That is
yes,
absolutely
it's
wrong.
very wrong.
You didn't get the memo. I didn't read that.
Dr. Dickens, as AI increases and it gets further and further into human thought, creativity, and emotion, you are actually using your new book, Whispers of the Spirit, to emphasize the importance of listening to God's voice in the stillness, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you see AI that can be viewed as a noise source impacting the way we encounter the stillness of God?
Great question, thank you. When I was in seminary doing a lot of my work on technology and theology back then, but then starting my doctorate focusing on AI, I really had this book in mind because I think AI, as you put your toe in the water, as we talked about a moment ago, and just trying things out, I think you will find two different paths. There's incredible work efficiencies that it can bring. Give me 5 ideas, give me a list of 6, those kind of things that are creative sparks to help you get going. But then I think you find yourself slowly being pulled into almost a relational aspect of AI. And so that's what I wanted to focus on in the book, is not forgetting our humanity as we're pulled down this AI path, and forgetting what it's like to be the Imago Dei, the image of God.
Right.
And so in the book, what I wanted to include is, instead of a typical kind of 40-day devotion book, every day there's some sort of human task. Go outside, look at a tree, take a leaf, look at this, but some sort of tangible opportunity to pause and to be still.
Yes.
And AI can't do that.
Right.
It has no lived experience. And so practice the human element of listening to God and living in what the Spirit is doing in and through you at that moment.
Yes.
Right, but now AI is not 100% correct either. But if we do use AI correctly, it can be helpful to us, right? So your devotional encourages intentional prayer habits. And in what ways could AI tools like meditation apps or digital reminders enhance the development of spiritual disciplines?
Sure, and there's some exciting I touched on a moment ago, the efficiencies of it. So imagine this, you don't have to, this happened with my wife and I, but if we're going for a 3-day weekend somewhere, and she might say, in the voice of Beth Moore, create a 4-day reading plan on the book of Jude or whatever. So to be able to customize content, to be able to focus in on maybe an area that nobody's really done much study on yet, for it to create that. It can get a little frightening when maybe AI comes up with that for you. Hey, I noticed in your journal that you seem to be struggling with this area, and I see in your calendar you may be going here. So here's a 4-day reading plan. That's a little frightening, but it can also be really exciting for it to know you that well, to be able to customize. Imagine what that could do for discipleship, and being able to meet with someone and create a customized discipleship program for them and for you. So I think there's some incredible, exciting opportunities in that field.
Yeah, I think we can use it for good. And I have gotten on ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT to help me with some marketing paragraphs and things like that.
Right.
So we can use it for that as well. And so I'm going to try to use it more. We have somebody on our team who's a techie, Aurora. We'll just say her name, Aurora. And she's trying to always get us to do these more technical things and embrace the new technology like AI. And so we will get there, Dr. Dickens. But
You will.
I believe it is here to stay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's here to stay. So rather than fight it, how can Christians ensure that technology serves their spiritual growth, either rather than ending up just a distraction?
Sure. We could, for another segment, we could take this back to 1,000.
And we will do that.
We could take this way back, but it's so easy to look at Gutenberg and the printing press. I love the idea that even back then, 500 years ago, some deacons in a church somewhere were freaking out about having this printing press, and all of a sudden now we don't have to go to church on Sunday morning. I've got a Bible on my bedside table now. Right. And that no doubt was disruptive at the moment. And so we had this interesting relationship with technology, don't we, over time. And initially we see it and we're afraid of it and it's demonic and we don't want to go there. Well, that ship has sailed, it's there.
Right, it's in the harbor.
It's AI. We're using it every day, whether we see it that way or not. So I think a Christian needs to first off embrace their humanity as being made in the image of God. So nothing is occurring here that's not outside of the Holy Spirit. That's outside. None of this surprised God. This is moving very quickly, but not greater than God's ability to create and understand this. So embrace it as a tool. Not as something that can manipulate, or it can, but accept it as a tool that we can use to intentionally draw nearer to God. So that can be prompting questions like you did with GPT, and learning how to ask it questions and then you get feedback. I think it's a really exciting time.
It's good when you're lonely or something, I think. You know, you can have somebody to talk to.
I think
I
that's
didn't think
something we
about
need to. That's something we need to be cautious of because the relational aspect to it. We have an epidemic of loneliness in our country, and so now all of a sudden there's someone that will return my phone call at 3 a.m. and will talk for 6 hours and not get tired. That's powerful.
Yes.
But it's also can be a little dangerous too.
Absolutely. And you know, in your book, you explore themes of gratitude, forgiveness, and guidance. How do you think that AI's ability to analyze patterns and provide insight to facilitate a better approach to these practices? Do you think that AI has the ability to do that?
Absolutely. AI at its most basic is a really big. It's like on Google search. If you'll start typing in a word and it completes it. So AI is a completion engine. So it's looking constant. It's eating data all the time, yours and the world's data, and looking for patterns. Patterns that maybe we don't even recognize yet. And so for it to be able to develop I'm going to keep air quoting this, but a relationship with you based upon your input over time, it's going to see patterns and maybe make suggestions. Being a little more gracious in this. One of the great things about it is its ability to correct emails that I may send out.
Wow.
That's good.
And so it'll kind of, I
We
see
need
where
that.
I see where you're going with this, but you might want to make this a little more gracious, a little more forgiving. So helping with tone and things like that. I think we all need that.
Yeah, I mean, when I write my emails, I have to go back and put "How are you?" after I write it. It's like, "How are you?" You
Exactly
know.
right.
Well,
So
what do you
AI
think
can
is
help
a
with that.
dangerous pattern that AI might pick up? You know, in what we're talking about, is there something that you feel like is dangerous or that we need to be aware of as believers?
Absolutely. I came across a word in seminary, forgot about it, came back to it, acedia. It's a word no one ever uses, okay? It's Greek, probably learned that. But acedia is what Aquinas called spiritual sloth. I just love the application of that for AI. I think one of the greatest threats to all of us, especially as believers, is becoming spiritually lazy and not doing the hard work of pursuing the Lord. So instead of me spending time with the Word in my hand and looking through for notes that I've taken and things like that, instead just to be able to go in and say, hey, give me 50 verses on this, or analyze this, read Romans and give me 20-word description of. It's so tempting to do.
It is.
Nothing in our world is slowing us down. And so if I can go in and say, hey, give me a 50-word description of the New Testament or the book of Romans, it's really tempting to do. I think that will generate spiritual sloth, acedia.
I think
we need to be mindful of that.
Yeah, I think it comes back to in the beginning, how you talked about fear. Just, I think fear sometimes manifests itself in being change adverse and not wanting to change. And so that's been a big challenge, I think, with a lot of people too, is we don't like change.
No.
And if you do, you don't like it a lot.
So we don't want to say to AI, "Will you do my quiet time for me?" Right? You know, we don't. You know, like I'm busy today. Would you do that for me? And I can check that off the list. That's what we have to be cautious about.
Well, I'm starting a study right now on Henry Blackaby, Experiencing God. I've been through the study countless times in the past. It would be so easy for me to load the book, have it read the book, and go ahead and answer all the questions for me. Okay. And that's 5 minutes of my day that I can spend doing something else. What a horrible use of that.
Right.
Now, having it give me 10 places I should go on vacation, great. More mundane, task-oriented things, that's great. But there's just some hard work that needs to be done.
Right.
And I think that's what we need to be cautious of.
So we shouldn't be afraid of AI, is what you're
No.
saying. So what are some practical ways that Christians can start to explore the world of artificial intelligence?
Try it. Try it. I get asked, it's probably the most common question I get, how do I get it? How do I get into it? And so just Google it, but go to OpenAI, ChatGPT, Claude, XAI. There may be 4 or 5 large chat-based language models, ChatGPT you mentioned, that are always coming out with updates. ChatGPT just coming out with 5 now. Grok is XAI's Elon's language model, just came out with Grok 3, so they're always updating. So just download it, they're all free. just download and start talking. Just say, hey, good morning. Give me some encouragement for today, and just sort of see where that goes.
So did you never have any fear of AI? Did you have to overcome anything?
No, I'm a long time nerd.
Okay.
So I'm an early adopter of all things tech. So this was, I had no problem. But I've studied it enough to know where the pain points are. There's a field within AI called AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, and that's looming, but that's the point where we cross the line where we're no longer the smartest kids in the pool anymore, that it's smarter than we are. That's coming. I was just reading an article over lunch that it's probably going to occur. Maybe someone was suggesting, actually the CEO of a large AI firm, maybe in 2026. So I know enough to know where to be concerned, but I'm not fearful. But I'm aware that there are barriers that we need to be mindful of, and that's one of them.
I'm already not smart as a fifth grader.
We crossed that a while ago.
Well, thank you, Dr. Dickens, for joining us. And I don't
what a privilege.
think I'm as afraid as I was when we first started this show.
Exactly, me
I
either.
think I'm
It
better.
won't.
I'm better. I will do it. I will get involved in it and just try it out. So thank you again. We want to have you on the show again. We're
I would
all in
love
Dallas.
that. Yeah, we're here.
And so we'll have you come over because I know this is a topic that's very hot right now. And people want to know more about it. I think you can help us. And
Well, and it changes
teach us.
every day. It's
Yeah,
updating constantly.
It does. Well, hey, if you want to reach out to Dr. Dickens, you can find him at his podcast website. It is called AI and Spirituality Podcast.com. Say it again, AI and Spirituality Podcast.com. And look for his new book in April. It's once again called Whispers of the Spirit, a 40-day guide to intimate prayer.
Horizon Media Studios and Lindell TV sending out a special thank you and blessings to everyone who came by to say hello and visit with us at booth 911 during NRB 2025. Keep in touch, and we hope to connect with you again in the coming year.